For generations, youth sports has been a cornerstone in childhood development. It's not just fun. It's how kids develop strong minds, healthy bodies, and lifelong friendships. But something's changed. A stark divide has emerged in America. Whether or not a child is an athlete is largely determined by their parents' net worth or zip code. 50% of affluent children ages 6 to 13 participate in sports, compared to about 25% of kids from working class homes. When did it become a luxury just to play sports? This didn't happen overnight. Let's go back 57 years.
Good evening. Dr. Martin Luther King, the apostle of nonviolence in the civil rights movement, has been shot to death in Memphis, Tennessee.
In 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, and that sparked riots in more than 100 cities across the nation. It became known as the Holy Week Uprising. President Lyndon B. Johnson dispatched U.S. military troops in many cities across the nation: Kansas City, Chicago, Baltimore, Detroit, Louisville, Cincinnati, and even Wilmington, Delaware. The nationwide unrest lasted an entire week, and in the end, 40 people died and thousands more were injured. President Johnson believed much of the rioting was driven by disillusioned youth. So his administration worked with the NCAA to create the National Youth Sports Program in 1968. 200 colleges and universities would offer 5-week summer sports programs to kids from lower income households. The goal was to keep kids busy and teach them life skills. This type of opportunity didn't just exist on the federal level. For decades, states, local governments, and community groups had been creating and funding youth sports programs. Pop Warner football in the 20s, Little League baseball in the 30s, and AYSO, whose guiding philosophy is everybody plays, in 1964. The goal was to make sure money would never be a barrier to any American kid who wants to play sports. But then came the cuts. In 1978, California passed Proposition 13, a constitutional amendment that capped property taxes to 1%. The effects on California's student and children programs were devastating. Like local schools, most public youth programs are funded by property taxes. So now funding that would go to a local Little League team or a Pee Wee football team was gone. To keep the leagues alive, schools and community clubs began charging to pay for uniforms, equipment, coaching, and tournament costs. In fact, tournaments alone can cost nearly $20,000. Soon, states across the country were passing their own Prop 13s. Now, American kids had to pay to play. And the National Youth Sports Program that I mentioned, well, funding for that was stripped repeatedly over the next several administrations. And by 2006, it was pretty much dead with only one summer program remaining at Case Western Reserve University. And that was paid for by private donors and support from the city of Cleveland. We'll come back to Ohio in a bit, but first, I want to talk to you about a kid from Orange County. Tiger Woods is the most famous golfer of all time. His greatness and presence in the sport introduced a world to kids who had never held a golf club before.
I'm Tiger Woods.
I'm Tiger Woods.
I'm Tiger Woods.
I am Tiger Woods.
But golf isn't cheap. One round of golf at a public course can cost as much as $143, depending on where you live. And if you want to do it at a private club, well, then you got to factor in the membership fees and the monthly dues, and that can cost into the thousands. But Tiger had a unique opportunity. Tiger's father was a military veteran, and he had access to a golf course at a naval base. Earl Woods started training Tiger before his 2nd birthday. Now, we know how the rest of the story turns out, but imagine if Tiger didn't have access to this public course, the whole sport could look different now.
He's made golf a big sport is what he's done. He's made it fun for people to watch. He's made it entertaining. He's changed this whole game.
But it's bigger than golf. Earl's way of coaching his son has inspired what's now being called the Tiger Woods effect, where parents can get their kids into sports when they're very young and push an intense training regimen, hoping that they'll be the next Serena Williams or Wayne Gretzky. Kids sports is big business. Families who can afford it spend ridiculous sums of money on specialized coaching and camps. I want you to take a look at MLB legend Cal Ripken Jr. He opened a luxury getaway baseball training camp for kids with state-of-the-art facilities and some of the best coaches in the world. It could cost thousands of dollars a week to send your kid there. And it's invite only. But if you can't get your name on that list, why not try a sports-focused boarding school? Let's take a look at IMG Academy. This is insane. Their training facilities are better than some D1 colleges, and their weight room was compared to the Kansas City Chiefs weight room. The results do speak for themselves. The school has developed more than 31,000 college athletes, with 150 of them going pro in the last decade. But it isn't cheap. Tuition can cost more than $90,000. To put that in perspective, the average lower class household income is $30,000. But there's more on the line now than there was when Tiger first picked up a club. High school athletes in 41 states are now allowed to monetize their name, image, and likeness, NIL. That means a high school football star is making money appearing in ads or selling t-shirts with their name on it.
New watch, no diamonds, no watch, good timing, yeah. I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich, I'm sporty and rich.
The cash that can be made multiplies when you get to college. Analysts predict college athletes' earnings could top $2 billion next year.
I'm excited to announce that I'm signing my own exclusive trading card partnership with Panini.
Arch Manning is projected to earn $6.8 million from companies like Uber, Raising Cane's, and Red Bull. Another young athlete who really didn't have to worry about money growing up, Bronny James. He left USC nearly $6 million richer thanks to endorsements from Google, Nike, and Beats by Dre. But I want to talk about Bronny's father for a moment.
I'm LeBron James from Akron, Ohio, from the inner city. I'm not even supposed to be here.
That's LeBron after winning his second championship. And he's right. Even with his otherworldly talent, the fact that he made it to the NBA is incredibly remarkable. I'll briefly summarize LeBron's story for those of you who don't know it. LeBron was virtually homeless growing up in Akron, Ohio. According to a 2013 ESPN article, he and his mom, Gloria, moved around frequently, sleeping on couches of friends and family just to get by. But a chance encounter in 4th grade would change his life forever. There was a football coach for a local rec team, and his name was Bruce Kelker. He noticed LeBron when he was playing outside with his friends one day. Bruce immediately recognized LeBron's athletic potential and tried to recruit him. But there was no way Gloria could afford the registration fees and didn't have a reliable car. Bruce told Gloria that he would cover the fees and he would drive LeBron to and from practice. A few years later, LeBron was recruited again, this time by a man named Frank Walker. And Frank introduced him to basketball. Frank would actually let LeBron live with him for part of the week so he could easily get to school and practice. He also paid the fees for him to join the AAU, the Amateur Athletic Union, which is an elite sports league. It's amazing that Frank helped cover those expenses. If he didn't, that could be the difference between the world witnessing LeBron's greatness or not. And that is not an exaggeration. 84% of NBA players played in the AAU as children. The cost of membership fees, uniforms, and travel can amount to thousands of dollars.
I feel like basketball used to be a poor man's game. We all played it. We were poor. We had nothing, and it was our way out. Basketball is not a poor kid's game no more. Basketball is a rich kid game. Like the days of seeing LeBron James from Akron, Ohio, from a single mom, those days are numbered. Like they're not, because if you don't have the resources these days, like you can't make it.
Sports is often heralded as one of the last mainstays of true meritocracy.
You're either born with the crazy genetics of a Cam Newton or Michael Phelps, or you weren't. But kids who can't afford to pay may never play and never discover their natural talent. But a child shouldn't have to be a future Olympian to play team sports. Just like they don't have to be a young Picasso to take an art class or a little Whitney Houston to join the school choir. Athletics can have a substantial impact on a child's life, regardless of their skill level. They can't be robbed of this. The CDC reveals kids who participate in high levels of physical activity do better in school, decrease their risk of heart disease and diabetes, and improve their mental health. And sports are fun. And that's something every kid, regardless of income, should have the chance to experience.